All right, friends and family, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back. How are you guys doing today? Welcome back. Yes. All right, what's popping, my friends? Welcome back. Let's see if everything is working here in the chat. Good to see you all on a beautiful Monday. Let's get the party started. See if I have everything correct. 1 second. Yes. What's popping, my friends? Good to see you all. To episode number 45. Looking forward to talk about Goldie today here. I just came back from the airport literally an hour ago. I just arrived maybe 30 minutes ago. I set up the stream and we're ready to rock and roll. Like I said before, a little bit later. Okay. Just came back from Singapore, just arrived here. So we're going to get the party started right now. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. We need to kick off the stream a bit faster today. Looking forward to absolutely crush it with you guys today here. Welcome back. Let's see what we have with us in the chat and then we'll rock and roll. Let me see. Yo, what's happening, Albert, my friend? How are you doing? Roshan, good to see you. Diamond, Nicola, good to see you. Zamal, Albert, Top 10. Jack and Roger, Glorious Trader, Daniel Berger, my friend, Greg, Mandres, yes. Amazing. There we go. Bertus, yes, sir. Rody, Albert, West. All right. Let's get the party started, guys. We have a lot of things to discuss right now. We have a full analysis to be done. You guys probably already heard about the news in regards to Iran. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about gold, the reversal play, all right, the triple bottom, and everything that's happening at this current moment. So, let's get the party started, my friends. Ooh, a little bit dark today, Let's get the party started. 1 second. Okay. Time to get to work. Get back to work here right now at the moment. We have a lot of things to cover. Thank you for coming up on the live stream. Even though we started up a little bit later, you guys know it. I was traveling this whole weekend here. I literally just came back. Maybe I arrived at home maybe 40 minutes ago. Okay, so we are here making sure that you guys are updated about the week. We're gonna do our full weekly analysis right now. Okay, I was in the car on the way back. Okay, I was in the van waiting, chilling, looking at the market, and I saw that news coming out from Trumpy Trump, okay, which is about the sanctions on Iran, right? Look at that reaction here on Iran. Look at that. US proposed temporary waiver on Iran sanctions. Dollar tank S&P went up. Texas oil dropped aggressively. Okay, obviously this is good for gold, right? Gold absolutely tanked on a Friday when I was not streaming. It was one of the largest dumps in a while here, and we talked about it last week. Do you guys remember that? Once we broke out of that range, we finally had that closure below. That was the moment to pay attention to a follow-through straight to the 4580, right? Remember, you guys? Let me know in the chat if you guys remember. If we close below an actual closure, not a wick, we talked about the fact that wicks do the damage and the candle closures tell the story, led to that follow-through all the way back down right here, okay? So we came back down all the way on a Friday here. We set in the bottom. We actually swapped the lows one more time today before we aggressively pull back. We call that a V-shaped recovery. And now we're seeing the positive news coming out. How amazing. What a coincidence. Hallelujah. Fantastic to hear that. Okay? So, what is next? What are our levels? What are our levels of interest? We have to talk about this right here. Okay? A big shout out to one of you guys that actually won the LTA Concepts trading format. It's going to be sent right now. Tomorrow morning it will be sent to your door. Somewhere to the Philippines, I guess. Not that far away from Bali. But yeah, congratulations, my friend. That's awesome. Great job. Looking forward to see what you can do with that book right there. The hard copy, the signed edition. Amazing, amazing. All right, let's go back to Goldie. All right, let's do our breakdown in full first. Let's start off with yesterday, Friday. We have to kind of follow up with what we're looking for right now, what we're seeing in the market here. Let me put the volume down a little bit. Okay. Let me make sure that you guys are fully updated, all right? So the 4 hour, you guys probably remembered it in the order flow right here. Okay, we talked about the order flow already. And we said if we see an actual closure below those sellers, do you guys remember that? The trapped sellers, which is actually right here. This was the sellers we are constantly holding up. And we even decide to buy, remember, on a Thursday, because we said, listen, as long as it's not closing below, there's no reason to think about selling now. All right, we're in that range, we're holding that support. But the moment we close below that, right around here, okay, that was the absolute moment for us to say, all right, game over for Goldie, okay? That was an absolute tank, an amazing drop to the downside here, all the way down to the 4480 on a Monday. It's absolutely ridiculous. What a push, okay? But anyways, that is what happened right there on gold. Gold dropped extremely hard on the Friday. Now we're seeing a recovery with, once again, a bunch of beautiful what? Trapped sellers right here in this 4 hour candle. So we have to mark out this zone right there at the 44.544. Super important level, by the way. Super important level to pay attention to, okay? As well as the 4555, okay? These are your order flow levels right now. Now, at the same time, we do have some resistance right now as well here, okay? So the first thing that we have to do, guys, in my opinion as well, is to always mark out the data from the previous week, okay? And if you want to understand and learn about the volume profile, I highly recommend you to download my free book. It's called ltaconcepts.io. It's a trading war map. It talks about the volume profile and all the things that you need to know around the volume profile and why it is so important to understand the weekly cycle as well as the daily volume profile, the weekly, etc. Okay, right now we are gonna actually showcase the weekly and the daily and the swing. Funny enough, we're gonna actually use multiple today because we're below the previous weekly range, but we are now pulling back into it. Okay, so we need to be super aware of the fact that we are now gonna find some resistance here. So let's mark out the previous week first. Let's do this from the left to the right. Okay. And what are we looking for in the chat, man? Let me know in the chat, guys. What are we looking for? What are we looking for today in this previous weekly range? What is an area of interest for us? Let me know. Just by default, okay? We are still trading below the previous weekly range, okay? I do think it's important to talk about this right there, okay? We have the body control, the very low, but we also have what we call a low volume. No, do you see this gap, guys? Right here? Do you see this gap right there in the previous week? Okay? We have to mark out that zone. We have to mark out that zone in case price eventually gets there, if we get there, okay? We have to make sure that we mark out that area where the volume dropped significantly right around here, okay? My suggestion is to take this with us right now and to just say this is a low volume node right here, okay? We have to mark this out right there, okay? This will be an area of resistance that we cannot neglect, okay? So that is a level right there. It's in between the 4595 4, which is the 4590 right now on spot, and the 4610. Okay. Now at the same time, we have the previous day, because we are also in the previous daily range. This is where we are getting rejected from right now. The previous daily value area high. Okay. I am very cautious with shorting right now though. Okay. I just want to be clear on this. I'm very cautious with shorting gold at this current moment. The reason why is because of the news. We took out the previous weekly lows aggressively on a Monday. We are kind of reversing right now, and we're formulating something that we call a triple bottom, right? We kind of see our triple bottom right now getting created here. So I want to pay attention to this area right there. What happens in that area? Okay, if we get there. If we drop, I'm still going to look for potential longs, continuation longs at that current moment as well here, okay? And the reason why is because we can simply see that we have a bunch of areas where sellers got stuck in their trades, stuck in their positions right there. We love these levels because these are areas of interest where, you know, sellers aggressively entered. At the bottom, the candle closed green. What is going to happen? Price is going to come back to the sellers. Sellers are going to get out. Buyers see that, right? In order to sell, you need to buy back your position. That causes buying pressure. Smart money sees that, they buy too, causes a potential push or a catalyst. It kind of access support right there, okay? We call that the imbalance or the actual sellers manipulation, the sellers imbalance or trapped sellers in that case, okay? So there are still two zones of interest right now that we have to pay attention to. At this current moment, we're trading above the point of control of yesterday, which is the 4560 as well. So we have a bunch of support here, but like I said before, that major level that we now have to pay attention to is, in my opinion, that low volume node right there, and a low volume node a little bit higher at the 35s, okay? But now, this is the most important zone that we have to pay attention to at this current moment here. Now, do I really want to short there? That's another story, but we cannot use this level as something that we cannot neglect because we're bullish, because it will be a reaction. We're probably going to see a reaction at that area, okay? So we have to take that in consideration right there. Then at the same time, we also have a swing, all right? Because we aggressively came down, we have the top of the swing to the bottom of the swing, and you can see that this low volume node of the swing aligns actually perfectly. You see that? 0, 0, 0. I hope you can see this right here. Let me actually remove it. But it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. There's been a bunch of gaps. It's just a gap there, okay? That means that there are a lot of potential passive participants active, okay? That means that people were placing limit order around these areas here. It's an imbalance, pretty much, okay? Some people call it a fair value gap. We use volume to confirm that, okay? Because the volume does never manipulate, never really lies, okay? Oh, that makes sense here. So we use that area as a major area of resistance right now at the moment, okay? Now, at the same time, on the higher time frame, forgot about this as well. We are, of course, bouncing from what? We're bouncing from daily support right there, okay? Daily support, we actually swept the previous weekly lows today, and we flipped bullish. So we are now reacting right here from that daily support right there. And now we're trying to push up higher, but we're trading in the previous weekly range. So we need to look at our low volume nodes as targets or as potential pullback entries or scenarios, okay? Which is then, of course, kind of aggressive. But I hope this makes sense so far, okay? This is the overall potential zone here. Now, what happens internally? Because this is kind of what we're looking for, right? What happens internally? Well, internally speaking, do you guys recognize this pattern? Let me know in the chat if you guys recognize this pattern, okay? Right around here. Let me know if you guys recognize this pattern right there. This right here, this right here, that reaction into the value area high right there, and that follow through right there. I think you guys recognize it, right? We talk about it all the time. Do you guys remember? Consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation. We have positive news. Sellers got trapped in their position here, right around there. A lot of trapped sellers. We pulled back on that zone where the trapped sellers were located, right there. That is an A+, beautiful freaking setup right there. I love that setup. It's an amazing setup to look at, okay? So if you read the book and you know exactly what our system is like and how we work within the gold hybrid trading system, right? Then you know exactly what type of setup this is and why we use this setup the way we use this setup right there, okay? I hope this makes sense, guys. That is a very clear textbook, an absolute textbook CERC play right here. Okay, so like I said, if you want to learn about this, then keep watching the streams for free. Smash up that like button, of course. I'm gonna be here regardless here. You know, you guys understand that I absolutely love this game, right? I love to go live with you guys here, even if I just arrived 30, 40 minutes before. I literally came back from the airport, rushed it. My suitcase is right there, okay? I just wanted to make sure that I'm here for you guys to give you the weekly update about what we can expect. So we are ready to rock and roll for the next coming days ahead of us here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to be live at 8 a.m. EST. Okay, so I love trading this week. Very nice start of the week. I do like this overall reaction. And it was time for the dollar to cool down a little bit, man. Holy moly. Have you seen what the dollar has been doing? It absolutely is actually ridiculous. If you look at how strong the dollar came up last week. Towards what? Towards that gap right there on the dollar, right? The moment we're in that gap, the moment we actually tapped into this resistance right there, okay? Right there, okay? Right there. Let me just mark out that resistance right now. Look at the dollar resistance right here, okay? Major area of resistance right there. And guess where we got rejected from? From that level of resistance on the dollar, okay? So when that news came out from Iran around Trump, okay? This news to be exact, the US proposed temporary waiver on Iran oil sanctions. Oil dropped. The dollar was in that resistance right there, okay? So that is very important, and I really like that because that's positive news in alignment with the technicals right there, okay? It's in alignment with the technicals. So we have the technicals, higher time frame with news. It's a perfect combination in my opinion right now. It's exactly what we want to see. Now, oil, of course, got rejected from that same zone as well here. Look at oil. Oil has been struggling around that level before as well here, okay? So oil is also on the weaker side, of course, when that news comes out around the sanctions, etc. You guys are probably aware of the fact that this is just something that will, will continue here. So for now, for this session right now, because this happened already when I was in the car back from the airport, okay? The C, the E, the R, the DC, trapped sellers, boom, rejection, follow through, dollar resistance, positive news for Iran. That is the setup, right? That's the trade right there. The target will obviously be there. Then the question is, are we going to see a pullback, right? Are we going to reject from there short term? If so, then we might look for a counter trend opportunity, but we have to be a little bit cautious around that resistance. Okay, if we don't pull back for the follow through, then this is a target that I will be looking at, and this will be called the previous weekly resistance on the previous day, the low volume node right there. Okay, but that is a major zone for gold here. I assume that this will be pretty strong resistance for gold. Resistance, okay? We just have to mark this out here. So either if you're long, pay attention to this zone as a target. If we are there, then we need to see what we're going to do from there, okay? If we don't get there and we pull back again and we cool down a little bit, I am simply still going to look at any confirmation for another long, okay? Hope that makes sense right there. All right? That is the overall analysis here on gold, my friends. Overall, everything seems to be aligning for now here. So let's finally move on. Like I'm saying beforehand, we have been last week trading the range every freaking day. Every day we have been trading the freaking range, okay? We did pretty decent, I must admit. Like, we did good last week, okay? But now, we're pushing, all right? We're moving. So let's absolutely take advantage of that price action because, like, let's really take advantage on moments in time when gold is actually, you know, doing something normal, okay? Love that. Let me see what the chat is saying here. I appreciate you all here. Let me check out the likes. 142 likes, guys. Can we get the likes up? That would be highly appreciated. All right, 940 people watching. You know, if you guys appreciate the effort and everything, then it's the only thing that you could do to help your brother out, man. Just smash the like button. You know, it helps the channel grow and stuff. We're growing in a crazy pace, by the way. But that's because of you. 100%. Okay? And of course, the music. Okay. Anyways, let's see what the chat is saying right now. What's this popping in the chat there? Blink. Man, I took that setup, but it's not for you. Reasons I took it is because of the break of structure. Re-entered on the retest. Textbook. Simple. Congratulations, my friend. Well done. Market makers. Hey, so a question. Where do you see the order flow? Which app? It's called the Xau Charge. the XO charts. You need a subscription though. You need to get connected to the DX feed, the market data, okay? The real futures market data. I am new. Can you tell me how the fixed range volume profile work? It is very complex for me, of course, my friend. So the volume profile, okay, measures the volume executed. Now, every market order that someone presses is tracked, okay? The market ticks up and it ticks down, right? Every tick will be marked. It will be calculated, right? It will be turned into a profile, a volume profile. So you can see where the most ticks happened, or in this case, at least on the chart, right? But in general, in the futures data, you can see where the most orders were executed, where the most interest was, all right? See the red line as a battlefield, okay? See the red line as a battlefield between what? Between buyers and sellers, or the Spartans and the Romans, right? It's the battlefield where the most execution took place, literally. In the literal war context, where the most execution took place, where the battle took place, okay? Within 70% of that, the highlighted zone, you have the high volume nodes, okay? So the value area. The value area means more volume executed. 70% actually is executed in this zone. Now you can draw the volume profile in different ways. Right here, you use this. The settings are 128 row size, 70 area void, value area volume. And then there are different ways you can actually use the tool and different patterns that you can use to trade the market with in the right context, of course. Okay? So you can use it from the daily, the weekly, and pretty much on the channel here. On this channel, we talk about this pretty much every time. Every time. Okay, we talk about the levels, we talk about the area, we talk about why we mark it out this way and not that way. And that comes from years and years of using this tool called the volume profile. Okay? I'll that answer the foundational question, at least for you. All right. Hey, Lorenzo, what do you think about, I don't know. I saw, I don't know about that. I have no idea what it is. Okay. By the way, if you are right now watching from TikTok, trust me, that's not me, by the way. Okay. That's another guy leveraging me, literally leveraging me, going live on TikTok, and then have some fake Telegram group connected to it, or whatever the case may be. If you're watching from TikTok right now, move over to YouTube, type in Lorenzo Corrado, and really analyze the markets and trade with me, okay? So TikTok, forget about that bullshit. Go to YouTube, type in Lorenzo Corrado FX. This is the real G's, okay? Forget about that fake TikTok, copycat, whatever. That's not me, okay? Want to be very clear on that. That is not me. Forget about the Telegram as well, connected to the TikTok. That is not me either, okay? I hope that makes sense. So forget about that. I'm going to repeat this every time, 100 times on the stream for the next coming days, weeks ahead of us, all right? Come to Lorenzo Corrado on YouTube. Some free promo, okay? Perfect. Amazing. Okay. Hey, you need to leverage it. You need to leverage it, all right? You need to leverage it. Come to YouTube, my friend. Come to the other side, all right? Come to the other side. By the way, if you guys can find the username, let me know. Okay? Let me know the username, because I don't have it. I need it. So if you can find it, or you saw it, then let me know what that username is here. Okay? In the meantime, I think we have some new news as well, though. Let me see what the new news is about. Let's see. Let's see. Senior Iranian source, the US has shown flexibility in ongoing discussions, including over limits to Iran's nuclear program or work. Okay. I mean, everything seems to be relatively good, positive. I mean, this is good for gold right now. You can actually see that gold is really seen as a risk-on asset right now. It's definitely not a risk-off asset right now, okay? People have more faith in the dollar being a safe haven asset right now than gold. This is just what we have seen now over the last couple of weeks, months even, right? Whenever there's fear in the market, people tend to buy what? People tend to buy bonds. It spikes the 10-year yield, which has a positive impact on the dollar, okay? And if the dollar goes up, your gold tends to come down, right? Now the dollar is coming down. So what's gold doing? gold's pushing up. Okay, so yeah, we have to really pay attention to positive news for Iran, or in regards to Iran, like a de-escalation is usually good for gold. Okay, and bad for the dollar, and vice versa, of course. Okay, and vice versa. Can I have your PowerPoint slides? No, this is something that we do with our group, right? We have been working with 15 people, and yeah, they have been absolutely working their asses off right now. They have their journal. I'm tracking their trades. We're going to their history right now. They're working. They're working hard. They're doing their best. They're working with all their levels, the low volume notes, and everything. And this actually played out super well, my friend. So Rody, you're one of the 15 that actually joined us last time. You killed this trade. We know how this one played out. Okay, you killed it. There we go. So no, that is only for the members in our 15 right now. Yeah, man. A lot of resistance here for gold now. You can definitely see the resistance. All right, the sellers are coming in a little bit at the moment. Okay. Look at the sellers here. Look at that 15-minute closure. It might be wise, in my opinion. Let's see on the 4-hour. Now, the 4-hour looks really good. The hourly looks actually still pretty decent. It was the hourly open. It was the hourly closure. Do take that in consideration. Now, I need to hold on to the trade. I need to hold on to the trade. This is that area of interest that I'm looking for. Okay. This is that area of interest now. Let me actually write it down for you guys, so it's a bit cleaner. Right there. Right there. Yeah, major resistance right there now. Okay. C, the expansion. All right. The retracement. And then what? The continuation right there. Okay. We call that a CERC. You know what's interesting right now? This is very interesting. Look at the valuation index. And look at how it's dropping right now, while gold is actually pushing up here. So at some point, this becomes a very important zone. But at the same time, if we're undervalued, you know, we have to be really careful with shorting here. Like really careful. Actually, maybe even avoid shorting there if we can get down to that zone. Because if we're undervalued and we tap into resistance, you know what I mean? That's going to be very, very tricky, all right? Because the last time we were undervalued, you know, I don't want to ruin the party, but like, you know, check out the last time that we were undervalued right here. It was right there, okay? It was the last time that we were undervalued. It was the bottom, right? Before that, we were right there. And before that, we were right there. You see that? And before that, we were right there. So if you get undervalued there, yeah, that's actually a very sign of strength on gold right now. That means that if the dollar is pushing back, the gold is not really dropping. That's pretty much what's happening. Gold does not really care right now, okay? So yeah, that's some very important data actually, if you come back down all the way to that area. So what I prefer right now is that gold just drops, okay? I prefer that gold comes down and that we can look for a re-entry, okay? I already took a TP1. I might close the trade soon if we start struggling here. Not yet though, because the hourly candle has opened up. But if we come down lower, okay, I will look for a new entry long also, okay? I will look for a new entry long, because if we're undervalued and we are clearly at that area we talked about right here, okay, we're undervalued and we come back to this area of interest, then I have to take another long. There's no way around it, okay? There is no way around it, okay? So as you can make a review on Maze Systems, I think it's a scam, man. Don't trust it. I have no idea what it is. Sorry to that, man. I have no idea what it is. It's probably a spam. It's just spam. Okay? Yeah, okay. We're definitely pulling back a little bit. Let's mark out our area of interest. Yeah, this is why I took a profit already there at that same exact level. Because I knew that's an area of resistance right there. If we now are unable to break it and we pull back. Yeah, we're really holding up around the same level of that TP1 level. I'm thinking about actually, I'm gonna do this, guys. I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna set a new limit order. Okay. I'm literally gonna set a new limit order right now. Because we're literally close to undervalued right now. So we took our profit here around this level, roughly speaking, I think around here. So that was still a nice 5 contracts, I think, right here. So it's probably around a at least a 1-to-1 for sure. Yeah, 1-to-1 with 155 pips, 5 contracts. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's the minimum I'm actually targeting in a momentum play. Anyways, that means the new entry right now. I'm looking for new entries. Okay, number 1, the 63. Or the 55. Look at that undervaluation right now, how we're pushing. Yeah, definitely worth it. So 64, 60, 63. Sorry, 61 actually. Yeah. $63. Need to set it at 63. It's literally, no, almost stepped into that level. 65. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set 2 there. And 2 there. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens, man. My target will be the 90s, right? The 95, the 90 area, roughly speaking. You guys already know why right now, correct? The main area is going to be that low volume node. I think this will be the major resistance of the day, of the session. If we can get there, I think that will be a very interesting area. I think that's also an amazing target as well, if we can get there, right? So I really like it. The reason why I actually like it is because the hourly candle just opened up, right? Around 7 minutes ago. So that means that if we can get filled in any of these orders right now, that we can target the 90s pretty much, okay? And then my stop should be actually below at the, I would say, the 30? No, 30? No. The 4, yeah, the 32. Pretty much at the lows. Okay. So it will be like 29. Yeah, it's something like that. Okay. 29. 29 and then targeting 38. So it's decent. 4 contracts. So, okay, perfect. We have 2 zones layered on top of each other. The hourly candle just opened up. What we want to see is a bullish flip on the hourly. And that's pretty much what we want to see right now. And I like the fact that we're getting undervalued right now on the dollar here. The reason why I split my entries is because we have 2 zones. And it's also just the way I like to manage my risk. Okay. If we already flip, great. Because it's very aggressive right now. Gold is pushing up quite aggressively. Okay. It's holding up really well. And if we don't get filled in the other order, it's fine. Okay. I'll cancel the buy limit if you flip the candle. And then it's also fine, right? We follow through, we target this area. Something like that, I think. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. So we want to see the flip as soon as possible. ASAP. No top wick, by the way, on this candle. No top wick on this candle. Okay. No top wick. Hey Lorenzo, is there any way to get your valuation indicator? Yeah, this is also only with our group, the small group that I'm hosting. Okay. We are in week number 4 right now of the 6-week program with only 15 people. Really small group of guys. You guys are already aware of it. Maybe for the new people, you are not aware of this, but I'm teaching this exact trading system to a select group of traders. It's called the Gold Hybrid Trading System. We use Orderflow right here, the confirmation in the Orderflow. Let's just see the X-ray vision. We have our volume analysis on the chart. We have our valuation, and we have the understanding of the correlation. Correlation, valuation, Orderflow, confirmation. Boom. Make sense? So yeah. My suggestion is to pay attention to your, if you download the book, to pay attention to your email, because I'm gonna drop some news very soon. Okay. Yeah, we want to see the flip though. We want to see the flip. Show me the flip, baby. Come on. Buyers are willing to step in. The dollar is not looking fancy. We're pulling back a little bit. Yes, we are. But we are still not... we're still in like some resistance right now. Oil too. Oil spiked up a bit. Okay. It's 100 pips already. This is actually very textbook, but I do want to see some follow through right now. Okay, I do want to see some flip here. But it's very textbook, this one. This is why I closed the trade. I closed the trade here full TP from lower, right? From there, 150 pips, and now we're back again in a new limit order. Okay. From which data feed you get access in Xauusd? Xauusd only works with the X feed, but it works fantastic. It's a very smooth software. It's very good. It's very nice. The reason why I set these limit orders because we have these two zones. We have zone 1 at 48, but also at 55, which is right here, that resist, that support. A bunch of sellers, they're stuck. And we have another one right there at 63, right? And that's this entry right here. This is why I entered here at 63 as well. So I wanted to split my risk because I did not know exactly which level we would tap into. And the undervaluation is not there yet, right? So I had to kind of measure the valuation. I had to kind of, you know, see where it would go. If this would be undervalued, I would probably be not splitting my... I would not be splitting my risk, let's say, you know what I mean? Not be doing that. Give me 1 second. Let's see what oil is doing here, because oil is pushing. Oil needs to slow down in order for us to capitalize. We really want to get rejected at this level if we want to see this candle flip bullish. Because if oil keeps pushing, then yeah, gold will indeed come down. This is why we still have that limit order below. And I'm not going to remove that limit order because of the fact that we haven't flipped this candle yet. Yeah, we haven't flipped it, so... Why do you not use ATAS? Yeah, people ask me all the time, why not this one? Why not ATAS? Why not deep charts? I mean, in the end, it's an order flow platform. It provides you pretty much the same information, okay? You just need to tweak it to your own design. And you need to work with a platform that you feel comfortable with, that you recognize, that you understand the tools of, the functions of. You just need to familiarize yourself with that platform, right? You need to familiarize yourself with it. In the end, regardless of what platform you choose, if you connect the order flow to it here, you just need to set up a good template for it so it looks clean. Something that you can recognize quickly, that your brain can kind of see. Oh, this is why I made it red and green. It's very, very easy to spot what I'm looking for, right? So for me, it works. For me, it works. And it's very smooth. It works very well on my MacBook as well if I'm traveling. Okay, it's very, very good for Mac as well. It's not hard on my CPU and stuff, right? That's why. I personally like it a lot. And we're back. I think it's oil mainly. Yeah, oil is in a bit of resistance though. So you can see how the market is reacting to this. If oil is dropping, gold tends to be pushing. Right? Look at that. So oil is in resistance right now at the moment, and gold is kind of pushing. So we need to pay attention to what oil does if you pull back, and we get here. We get back to the 100, right? We kind of need to observe that because, yeah. What I want to see is an hourly candle flip, pretty much. Is this candle flipping the 79 or like the 80s? It is actually breaking the high here, I think. Which is 170 pips. But if you have to come down a bit more, yeah, and it is what it is. It is what it is. We have to wait and see here. Just give it a bit of time, unless I see something really weird in the market that I'm like, hey, I don't like this. But not yet. Can anyone please answer, what's the price difference between what he's trading and spot? Spot right now is actually sitting at 4566 and we're at 4570. So it's actually 4 points only right now. It's not much of a difference, 4 points. Okay, around 4 points, I think. Second entry is more logical and safe. I mean, we have two zones, two areas of zones where there's a lot of volume traded. So you love trapped selling. So you see the reaction around this level. You don't really see it in the candlesticks, besides it just being some sort of imbalance, I think, or a gap. Right? But it's like, it's definitely an area of interest. Okay. Definitely is. I'm asking because I can't decide currently. I'm using both. And yeah, I don't find a heat map at Xau charge. No, but it does have this one. You see that? You see this on the right? It's called the CPR. Okay. It's called the CPR. Nevin says, why don't you use stop losses to run break even? My stop loss is actually below here, so I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean, my friend? That I'm breaking even already right now? Let's observe price. Let's see what it does. Let's see what oil does, right? Oil is most important right now. The dollar is getting rejected. Oil is in its resistance right now. Yeah, gold is indeed slowing down a little bit. Yeah, I agree. Let's see what gold is. Oil is also a bit overvalued. Let's see what gold will do on the lower time frame in a second. We're pretty undervalued right now. If we can get actually to the 56, I would actually be fine with that, to be honest. If you can get to that second limit order. Lorenzo, you are really generally good trader. However, one thing I've noticed about you is you sell far too late. Sell far too late. Would make money if you sold sooner. Not sure what you mean with selling, because we're buying right now. And we already took our TP on the previous trade. So this is the second. This is my second trade. How do I join your Telegram? I do not have a Telegram. I do not have a Telegram, okay? If you are on TikTok and you're watching me right now from TikTok, move to YouTube. All right? Move to YouTube. Because this is fake. The TikTok you're watching from is fake. It's some guy that copies me and then puts some fake Telegram with some scam Telegram below that. You know what I mean? Some scam Telegram group. So don't fall for that shit. Move to YouTube. Okay? So how do I join your Telegram? No Telegram. Do not have Telegram. Okay? No Telegram. Wait, you don't have Telegram? There's one called Syndicate Trading with over 1,300 people. Yeah, that's not me. Okay. That is not me. I don't know what the syndicate is. I have no idea. Best thing you can do is just follow me on YouTube, right? Just follow me on YouTube. That's it, right? Watch me live on YouTube, right? No Telegram, no public Discord. Just YouTube, okay? So they're using your videos and face. Can you guys give me that that TikTok username? Do you guys know the TikTok username? Let me know. That is streaming my shit. Let me know. I'm very curious, actually. I don't know. I can't really find it, but if you guys see this, anything about TikTok, let me know, man. I'm actually kind of curious right now. Send it on my Instagram, man. Send it to my Instagram, all right? Send it to my IG. Message me on IG, send me the link, okay? Because I think I found it, by the way. Not sure if I found it. No, I didn't find it. Yeah, let me know, my friends. Let me know if you guys can find it. Let me know, please, yeah? Appreciate it. Thank you. Damn, okay. Let me see. Really? Interesting. Very interesting. Interesting. 1 second, Gis. Let's see. All right, thank you for sending it. I'm definitely not part of any Telegram group, whatever. No TikTok. I don't have a TikTok like that. That's a fake account, etc. So don't trust that shit. Do not trust it. Okay, but for now, guys, man, the market is a bit slowing down right now. Okay, I'm paying attention to what's happening around here on the lower time frame. You can actually see here on the 5-minute time frame. We're not really moving right now at the moment. Okay, because oil is pushing up kind of aggressively right now. Okay, and if oil is pushing up aggressively or right now, then gold is gonna try to pull down. I might, okay, the wise thing to do here is to be patient. Okay, and to exit this on my entry. We're literally at our entry right now, right? I'm gonna exit this on my entry, maybe, and actually set my limit order lower. Okay, actually set my entry lower right now. Okay, because the fact that oil is pushing up. Okay, oil is pushing up right now at the moment. And we can actually kind of see that right now, oil is not doing what we want it to do. So but I'm going to keep that limit order lower. Where is that limit order? I think I'm going to keep it at that level that we talked about before, right? Which is the 55. The 55 and the 48. Okay, 55. I think it's wiser to be a little more patient right now. 55. 48. Right there. Okay. So I exit the trade on break even right now. Just the reason why is actually because I think it's important right now to be patient. If oil is pushing up and gold is not really doing much and oil is not really coming down, then it could be that we might indeed try to come down a little bit more, right? In order to get filled here. And because we're not undervalued fully, also in the 15-minute, there is more room. There is more room. We gave it like more than enough time to develop and to flip bullish here, okay? It did not. It did not react. It did not do anything after our entry. It kind of ranged. It initially wanted to flip, but the candle closed pretty much there, right? We wanted to see at least a stronger reaction. And now we're coming down a little bit. You see that? So I think it was a good decision right now to wait, exit, put our entries a bit lower. And the stop loss is at the same, the same spot, I would say, right? It's pretty much right there, okay? So, anyways, it's the same, it's pretty much the same entry, the same stop, but with a smaller entry, lower entry, okay? Well, that makes sense. The reason why is because you can just see that that oil is very strong right now. Oil is pulling back. It's breaking to some resistance as well. That it allows gold to potentially come down a little bit more, okay? All right, second try. Geez, you see, a little bit lower in this case right now. Let's see if this is a level where we could react from, okay? And yeah, let's see. Let's see. Oil is starting to push up, right? So we have to be a bit cautious. So I already closed my break even, my trade on break even, and I entered lower. So now it's really up to see if we can actually hold this level here. And yeah, this would pretty much be what I made on my previous trade. So my stop loss, maybe slightly more, but the risk to reward right now will be much bigger. Okay, it will be roughly speaking 190 against 447. So it's a much better risk to reward ratio right now. So that will be the ideal. The minimum what I'm looking for is a 1-to-1, of course, right? Is a 1-to-1. Okay, so that's already pretty much the flip of this candle if we can get there, something like that. It's worth a try. It is worth a try. Okay. Blow my account? Yeah, unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. You need to. I hope you got the reason of why I closed the trade on break even, right there. And also, I don't understand why your stop loss will be there. All right, because your stop loss should not be there, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. It should be lower. Okay, because that would be a real invalidation, right? Then will be considered that we would potentially indeed find that resistance, break lower, come back, we break close below, we're most likely going to drop lower again, right? So I hope that makes sense. All right, second try though. I don't like that oil is pushing up really, really hard. And now it's really up to gold to show that we are holding this level. This is the level that we want to hold. The VWAP and the next zone right here. Okay. This is the level that we want to hold. And if we can manage the trade, then we should be fine. Because oil is now going to raise, tap into the point of control and the very low of this range. Okay. So if you go back to oil right now and we mark out oil, let's also mark out the swing here. You can see the point of control is the area where right now we find some resistance right there. Okay, this is called the swing point of control on oil. And this is the range right there on oil. Okay, we're also dealing with a gap inside of that right there. It's called a low volume node in oil. The oil will probably have a little bit of resistance here. So let's see if oil right now can actually showcase and react from that resistance right there. Look at that low volume node. Okay, on oil. And look at how we're reacting from here, okay? Right there. And if we get rejected here, we pull back a little bit, gold will most likely react from this level 2, which is in this zone right there. And then we'll be able to manage the trade. So let's see if it makes sense to see how price reacts here, see how oil responds right now. Oil already, look, oil is already reacting from it. But that's what you want to see, right? We really want to see oil reacting. We really want to see oil pulling back. And we actually really want to see gold right now showcasing a good reaction to oil being in that resistance pretty much, right? I hope this makes sense. The alignment of the trapped sellers, the VWAP, and the variation close to it. Oil now resistance, and gold, of course, back at the point of control of the range, which is this area, the fixed point of control, we call that. All right? Stop loss is below. And my target will be higher, but I need to manage it after a 1-to-1, okay? Which is in essence the 65, or it's in essence actually this resistance right here, okay? That resistance. Yeah, I like how oil reacts there. So that's a good start. Now I want to see buyers stepping in, okay? Now I want to see buyers stepping in. So let's go to the lower time frame on gold and look at the order flow on the 5-minute time frame. Let's see what happens here, okay? So we have this 5-minute candle closure. It's going to close in around 2 minutes. You want to see sellers not being able to follow through. You preferably want to see a 5-minute right here, a 5-minute bullish flip or bullish candle closure, okay? That will be the ideal case scenario. If you can actually flip this candle bullish, showcasing that we have some trapped sellers sitting there, then we might find that support, etc. And then we can pull back, okay? And then they can immediately reduce our risk, by the way. But we need to close strong on this 5-minute. Preferably the 5-minute, but also the 15-minute, okay? Also the 15. So, yeah. That would be the target, huh? macro-wise right now. Something like that, right? But yeah, it all depends on oil. What do you want, oil? What do you want from us? What do you want from us, oil? Okay, we need to pay attention to this 5-minute closure. $10. That's not bad. If we can flip bullish, that would be even better. But that's not necessarily bad. Where do we close? Nah, actually not that fantastic. Not that fantastic. Could have been better, in my opinion. Because now this will turn into resistance here. Wow, if he closed a little bit higher, it would have been so much better. Now, you see? Immediately. Yeah, you see? Immediately. I saw that closure below. I was like, this is going to immediately react. That's why I should have immediately actually got out of the trade. But we're retesting the VWAP right now. And we have our area right here still, our low volume node right there as well. So we still have a low in between. And oil is pulling back again. Pushing up again. Let's see where we are on the 15. We're getting undervalued right now. This closure is in 4 minutes. We really need to pay attention to the 50 minutes right now. The 50-minute closure is going to be super key. We do not want to close below the 50. We don't want to close below the 50s. Trump tweeted. Did he? Did he tweet it? No. Don't see it. It's definitely large absorption. You really want to close above the 50s on the 50-minute or the 53 preferably. If we can do that, we're really solid. And we're in a 4-hour zone. We are also in a 1-hour zone. Don't forget that. We're in 1-hour support, 4-hour support. We have some support. We are above the VWAP. We're retesting the VWAP as well. We just tapped into the VWAP. Buyers are coming in right now. The 5-minute just needs to close right now above the 53. And I think we're good. I think we're good. If that happens, we're good. You can see that oil is in at resistance. We're undervalued. Oil is overvalued. So we have our textbook setup. It is a textbook trade. We just need to get that squeeze right now. And now it's all about management. And also a bit of patience, I guess. All right, I like how there's a lot of selling. Buyers are absorbing those sellers right now. I like that. I like that. But the closure on the 15-minute is super important. Because if we cannot close above the 50s, gold will have a hard time. Okay? Gold will have a hard time. But it's like too risky to not be in position right now, if that makes sense. Because this could easily, with this amount of volume, this amount of volatility right now, this could easily squeeze to the upside. Okay, according to what we're seeing here, knowing that we're in a higher time frame zone. So it will be stupid for me to close early and to try to re-enter again, if that makes sense, in my opinion. I prefer to let the trade now play out and see where it takes us here. Risk is already managed, regardless right now, okay? We had our previous trade right here. I already took an entry from here to there. So it's all calculated into the risk. I think it's stupid not to hold on right now to the trade, according to the price action, to the volatility, etc. And of course the confidences. Okay. One second. Any updates? I don't really see any updates on financial news. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, we haven't closed above the 50s. You see, 53. We haven't closed above it. That's unfortunate. We really want to close above this right now. Above the 53. We really want to close above that. 53 right here. We really want to close above this high. Is there news? Why do I not? I don't see the news, guys. What's happening with the news? Let me know. I don't think there's news. Oil is still pushing. That's not what you want to see. You want to see oil getting rejected at this exact level that we marked out before. Okay. We have one more level, which is sitting at the 102.36. That's one more level. And the very high, but that's it. Nothing higher than that. I would say around here. So that's our final resistance, final zone. Oil has filled the gap. Okay. Yeah, we're looking at the same level right now. We're looking at oil exactly the way we are seeing it. So we have that resistance. We have a little bit of a higher level too, which is the 10244, which is very high. I really don't want to close above that level though. That will be very strong from oil. If oil can close above that, that will be very, very strong. That will be very strong. Okay. It is GG? No, not yet. Not yet. I don't think so. I don't think so. There's definitely some selling pressure right now. We cannot neglect this right here. We're still in our zone. Oil is in that resistance. If we take out the lows, right, I will be looking for potentially one more entry in case But to be honest, all the confidences were pretty much there for me to take the trade. It's really playbook. It's really textbook for me. Okay. Similar to the first trade, from here to there, textbook. We managed the trade already. We entered first at 63. I got out on break even. I decided to enter lower because I saw that that was a little bit. It was not the right time because we're not fully undervalued yet. Okay. Now we are. So now it's really hoping to see if it can actually slow down with oil. If oil can slow down here. And if gold is able to hold our zone. Okay. Which is it's actually this area right now. There's a lot of absorption though. You see that? There's a lot of absorption. But yeah, we need to close this candle really above the 53. If you don't close above the 53, then I don't see any follow-through potential. Okay. So this candle in 9 minutes cannot be closing below the 53. Because if we close below it right now, or if this 50-minute candle closes below the 50s, then I'll need to wait for pullback and I need to cut my trade earlier. We call that dynamic. How do we call that? Dynamic risk management. Dynamic risk management. We have a hard stop, which is right there. That's like the worst case scenario. But then there is also something called dynamic management, where we manage the trade and cut our losses earlier, which actually increases my risk to reward ratio over time. If it makes sense, if there's a good reason for it though, okay? If there's a good reason for it. If there's no good reason for it, it's just a waste. You don't want to cut trades when it doesn't make any sense, for my opinion. So what would be a good reason for it? This 50-minute candle closes below the 50s in 8 minutes. Until then, we have a hard stop. Razar says, hi, on the first run up, I was able to make $6,500 with your textbook method. Wow, that's amazing. That's such a textbook trade. 100% agree. That was a textbook entry. So I'm happy you took that as well. Right here. Beautiful. Of course, reversed, right? Reversed. So you rearrange, you expand, retrace, pull back. And you use the volume profile and you mark it out over the range. And then you find your entry at the value area high, which is that level right there. And that's true. It is correct. It's correct. All right, so we're, wow, look at that. We're back again in green. How many times do we go from drawdown to green? How many times do we go from drawdown to green? Okay. Now you're like, oh, we're entering on the flip actually, right? The candle flip. But we really want to break above the 53, close above the 53. It's still possible. We have 7 minutes left. Oil is definitely struggling a little bit here. And the dollar is, oh wow, look at the dollar. Look at the dollar. The dollar is getting rejected from this area. So that's going to help gold a bit. That's going to be helping gold a little bit. Dollar and oil. Oil being a bit stronger than the dollar though. So we have to pay attention to oil. Okay. Six minutes for this 50-minute candle. And you guys know the rule, right? If we close below the 50, in 6 minutes, I need to cut my trade early. But in 6 minutes, a lot can happen. A lot of good things and a lot of bad things. That's why we have a stop loss there in worst case scenario. But even that is not really bad. How expensive is that stop? I think it would be around $800. So pretty much what I made on that previous trade. Pretty much. And that absorption is real, but no follow through though, right? This is one thing. You can get absorbed. Price can absorb sellers, which is happening right here. You can see it very, very clearly. Sellers are getting absorbed, but there is no follow through, right? There is no follow through. You want to see the follow through of that. So in 5 minutes, we know the answer. Do I have to cut the trade? Do I need to stay into the trade? That all depends on where we close here. Hello, man. Thank you for still going live, sharing your gold insights. Even though you just arrived from your trip, gotta go, need to work. Thanks again. My man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just literally came. I think I arrived at home from Singapore. Yeah, literally 30 minutes, 40 minutes before the stream. So I rushed home. I came home. My suitcase is right there. And I went straight to the stream, set everything up. And here we are. And we will be here for the next 5 days. So if you guys appreciate that, then smash up that like button here, guys. I appreciate this. A lot of free context, free education on this channel. And we're trading pretty much every day. This is already episode number 45. Think about that. 45 episodes already. Almost every day. It's crazy. That is wild. All right, we're back again. We're holding these sellers. You see that on the 5 minutes? We're holding these trapped sellers here. So these sellers are stuck. We closed above those sellers, and guess what? That then turns into that support. You see that? So now the 15-minute really needs to flip bullish. Because if the 15-minute can flip bullish and close above the 54, we're in a really, really good entry. Really good position. Okay? But it's 3 minutes left. And if you don't close at least above the 50, and then it will get a bit tricky again, then it's better to cut the trade and wait for a new entry or something like that. Yeah. Why did you entry far from the zone you draw? That's actually a target, okay? It will be considered a target because that's a low volume node that we're looking at right now. Super important zone here for gold, right there. All right, I highly recommend you already to mark this out on gold right here. Okay, mark out this area. Wait 1 second, let me actually check it for you. The previous week. Mark out this area on your gold chart right here, okay? I'm telling you, you're gonna see a reaction from this zone. In between the 88 and the 88 and the 605, okay? Mark out that level. In my opinion, it's a very important level to mark out. Very important level to mark out, okay? Actually above those highs, but yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of selling right now, but not really follow through anymore. So that's actually a good sign. That's what you want to see. But at the same time, we're facing some selling pressure right now. Gold is not really willing to push because of oil, right? That's kind of the problem. Oil is kind of the problem right now. Oil is not really drop coming down. Okay. So if oil can just drop a little bit, then gold will close above the 54, and then it's happy days. It's happy days. Because if we can close above the 54, I think we're gonna. There's nothing there that can hold us back. Okay, there's nothing that can hold us back from that moment onwards. Until then. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's also the hourly candle closure right now. Yeah, this means that we are able to manage the trade again. If you want to. Okay. All right. We did close above it, didn't we? It's a start. Yeah, we did. We actually did that. We actually did that. Okay. Preferably the 53 would have been amazing, right? But this is already... It's a start. It's okay. It's worth to be a bit more patient. Pretty much back at the entry. Again. Again. Back at the entry again. Yeah. The hourly candle right now is just opening as well here. That's the unfortunate part. The hourly candle is just opening up. Okay, so now the bottom wick needs to be set, etc. But we want to close above the 54. If we can do that, happy days. Yeah. 54, man. It's such a level, man. Holy shit. You can't close above that. Wow. So unfortunate. So many times that we could have managed it here. Crazy. What a resistance, man. Can we just break it? That the absorption is real. You can see that you can see the absorption here. It's oil. It's oil. Oil is unstoppable. Oil is unstoppable. If oil keeps going, then gold's not gonna go. Then gold is not gonna go. And we are failing to break above the 54. I've entered 4540, amazing. But that's pretty much where we are right now, close to where we are. So be careful as well. Yeah, this is not going to give us the follow through, guys. Unfortunately. We gave it a try. We had so many chances as well to manage the trade here. But it gave me an idea that we had that idea of closing above the 50s, giving me still a little bit more room. But now the hourly candle is setting the bottom wick. And we don't know how deep it's going to go, if it's going to sweep the lows, for example. And oil is just pushing, right? And the dollar as well. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, this specific trade. So I think I'm going to be back at session break even if I hit my stops. One win, one loss. Well, we're not there yet, but it doesn't look good. News. Is it news? Something came out, right? Something came out. Senior US official. Iran's new offer is an insufficient and a risk a war resumption. A senior US official told Axios that Iran's updated proposal for ending the conflict is not a meaningful improvement. Yeah, okay. That doesn't sound great. So if that's the case, dollar is going to go up, oil is going to go back up. So when it was amazing at the beginning, when it came down to news, it kind of flipped with this news right now. So this is a clear news reaction. This is why the dollar is spiking up here. Okay? This is why the dollar is spiking. Buyers are still willing to step in. It's really, really unbelievable. But we have 30 seconds for buyers to protect that level right now. We know that we are in, I think, in the very low or close to it. Sorry, I've been responding a lot, guys. Have some PC problems, couple restart. No problem, my man, John. No problem. Do you have Telegram, TikTok? No, I do not. I do not. I don't have TikTok, okay? Yeah, it's important. I keep saying this, but I do not have TikTok, okay? It's pretty smart, actually, what they did. They created my TikTok account. It's a fake account, and then they post my reels and stories from my Instagram. And then they go live when I go live on YouTube. And then they have a fake Telegram group in there. It's pretty genius, if you ask me. But very nasty for people that actually click on it and think it's me, right? It's very unfortunate. So we need to report that account. We need to report them. I'm going to go after them 100%. Yeah, this trade is not really looking good because this news came out right now. Really bad for gold, actually. This is actually very bad for gold. We were pretty much at our entry so many times. Could have cut the trade short again and waited for a re-entry. Did not do it because the rule that we had to close above the 50s. We did close above the 50s. But yeah, textbook-wise, I think everything aligned. The only thing that came out was just news. The Iran news came out. So yeah, we'll accept it and see what happens here. Hello, I said cheers for the email. I appreciate them. Thank you. Do you have any recommendations for pub firms from Australia? There are a couple pub firms that you could try. I mean, FundedNext is something that guys that I trust. The reason why we're kind of respecting this level is because number one, we are at support. Okay, we're still at support here. Number two, we're at the VWAP. On the hourly time frame, we're at the VWAP. Number four, buyers are still stepping in. But the bad side of the story is that oil has broken structure. Number one. Oil is like looking pretty strong at this current moment. Okay, oil is breaking highs. And that news from Iran came out, which is leading to that escalation. So we started off the news very strong. And we actually had a really good trade from this today. But it was not just news-based, but the actual trade was consolidation, expansion, retracement. We entered there on the retest at the beginning of the stream. And we exited somewhere in the range. Okay. Right here. Let me see. Right there. All right. So we closed the trade in full a little bit later because of the fact that we didn't go to our target. So we closed the trade in full. And then price came down and then I had one entry and pretty much broke even on that entry right around here because price was not moving, I decided to enter lower again, and here we are. We went to our entry 1,000 times. And we're getting bought up again. So the support is real here for gold. That higher time frame zone is an important level right here to talk about. It's that higher time frame zone. It's really holding us up here right now. That higher time frame level is holding us. Okay. On the 15 minute, we haven't closed the 15 yet. It could still flip. I mean, it could. But let's see what happens. The stop loss needs to be where the stop loss needs to be. And in this case, it's below those trapped sellers. Right? So we really want to see this right now. It's also been only 10 minutes since the new hourly candle has opened up. Okay? So the candle could still potentially flip. It could try to flip. Because we're getting absorbed here. If this flips bullish, there's still some scenarios that we could get out, but we don't know how far it wants to go. It wants to take out those lows. If it wants to squeeze us out of the trade beforehand. Right? We don't know that right now. Oil is still pushing. If oil is still pushing, guys, then there's not much that I can really do right now with gold. Because oil is unstoppable right now. Because it came down. It's extremely overvalued right now on the dollar. We need to see some sort of higher low. And that's actually what I'm hoping for that to see right now. I'm hoping for oil to pull back. Even if it's just a little bit. Even if oil just comes back down to the point of control. That already would push gold probably back to our entry. And if not, a bit higher. Right? But oil needs to slow down a little bit right now. Because if oil doesn't do that, then we can have all our confidence is perfect. But if oil spikes because of the Iran news right now, it's going to put too much short-term pressure on gold. We really want to see that. We really want to see that break. Yeah, we have 3 minutes until this 50-minute closes, so I don't know. That's also another layer. According to the price action now, the way we're seeing this absorption, it's telling me with the under variation and knowing that we're going to reach our next zone again, it's telling me to be very patient with gold and just give it some time. But I don't want to move my stop loss or any way, shape or form. Okay? I do not want to move my stop loss. Give me 1 second. All right, let's see what oil is up to. Oil is in our next zone, which is this area right now. Oil needs to slow down. If oil slows down, we're good. But at the same time, this 50-minute candle, if this 50-minute candle closes relatively weak, that's also not really what we want, right? We want to see a bit more volume. Because the volume is also, it's not necessarily the volume. There is a large absorption taking place, but there is no follow through. If there's no follow through, then nothing is happening here. But what I can say personally is that price will eventually create some sort of pullback to the upside. Because even oil, if oil pulls back a little bit and you see that absorption taking place, we're getting undervalued right now. Oil at some point needs to pull back a little bit as well. And we're still above major support on the higher time frame. Yeah, there is a chance that the hourly candle will try to flip bullish. The only thing that I'm like, the 32 level we have also the 23, but that will be, in terms of risk, way too much. Okay, that's another 10 points, and that's not going to work. So I'd rather wait for price to then get lower and invalidate me and re-observe instead of trying to. The last thing that I'm going to do is move my stops in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, it's a very strong recovery. So oil, of course, dropped, right? This was Trump's announcement right here, or the US announcement. And then I think in the last minutes, literally right here, I think it was here, that Iran announcement came out, causing oil to spike back up, pretty much to going back for those highs. And this looks more like a potential release. What I want though is that the hourly candle holds up here at the VWAP right now. You can see that the hourly candle is at the VWAP. Okay, this blue line right here that you see is the VWAP. Let me actually make it a bit bigger. All right, that is the level that we're holding at, that we're reacting from right now, and it aligns with a zone, which is this area. Okay, now there is a chance that this candle will try to flip bullish. And that will be able to, for us at least, manage to trade accordingly. And oil at some point needs to make at least a higher low. But I think that the setup itself was really good. Everything aligned in terms of everything we were looking for, all the confluences. You cannot really account the news, right? And I'm not going to be afraid of news, because if you have to be afraid of the news every time, then we can better just not trade, especially during times like these. You can better just then not trade at all, right? I'm just trying to figure out why would oil pull back. True, yeah. At some point you would say, right, even in overvaluation, you would just range. Even if you range, okay, that's already enough for gold to make a pullback. That would be already enough here. But as of right now, if oil is strong, gold is not going to go anywhere. Gold's going to come down. Not much that we can do. Washington said Trump still prefers a negotiated settlement, but is weighing military options as Tehran continues to resist key demands on its nuclear program. Official warned that if no progress is made, talks could shift towards escalation, with internal discussions on next steps expected at the highest level. And that's caused kind of the rally on oil right here. So what I'm afraid of right now is that we're trying to target the lows and then we'll make an actual pullback, because then oil will get to that major level at the 103. That's kind of what I'm worried about right now, right? Is that we come down, we take out these lows again, oil taps into that resistance, and gold will actually reverse. Because it could be, because we are reaching that major level right there on gold, which is a major level. I am very impressed though how good gold is holding up here. Because keep in mind, oil has been continuously pushing, okay, in the last, like, let's say 3 candles, and gold is constantly creating these bottom wicks. But are you an SMC trader? No. I don't know what SMC... Yeah, not really. This is the first week my analysis wasn't aligned with yours. I'm kind of sad about it. I did take myself on the top at 4583. That's why I closed my long before in profit. That's why I had my TP before. Was it there? Yeah, I think so, right? Or lower, sorry. 64? 64. And 71. Okay? $64, yeah. Similar. A little bit lower, sorry. 71. Three. Yeah, exactly. So impressed how gold is holding here, guys. Wow. And we're really moving up. What I like about gold right now is that we're creating lower lows and higher highs on the valuation. And that oil is a little bit slowing down right now. I'm not sure about the dollar. I haven't checked the dollar, by the way. Yeah, the dollar too, right? The dollar is also, I think, in a 30-minute resistance. Yeah, the dollar too. Okay. All right. It's about oil pulling back to the point of control. Yeah. So today's session, I bought here at the retest. I sold there. Then I bought here. I broke even. Then I bought here. And I bought here. Then I bought at the 55. Yeah, 55 and 48. And that's an average entry here. And now we're in drawdown. And stop loss is here. So one win, one break even here. That was a good decision, by the way, to get out of the trade. And now we're in a drawdown. I could have got out on break even here too, by the way. Could have managed the trade a bit differently. But the signal was not there. The confirmation was not there to do this. Because we closed above the 50s at the time. So I have to follow my rules. And that is some of the rules that I was looking at. To close above the 50s. And now we're in drawdown, right? So we were in a trade and then that news came out about Iran and shit right here. So now we have to wait and see if we can at least pull back, which I think we could. I think we could, because if oil is slowing down, we're creating a divergence. Then we have indeed some, we do have some opportunities there still to make a pullback. But yeah, it is not the position you want to be in, right? Not the position you want to be in. Especially when it's news driven. Because you don't really know. When it's news driven, when it's something around news comes out, you never really know when oil stops, right? Or when oil slows down, which has a major impact on gold. Dollar is slowing down a little bit. Now gold needs to actually show us the same. I just don't really want to move my stops, even though I see so much potential in gold. Still potentially pushing higher a little bit. Well, let's keep a close eye on oil. The dollar is one thing, but oil is more important right now. Is that 4 hour gonna close soon? Yes, the 4 hour is gonna close soon too. I actually like that. The fact that the 4 hour candle is gonna close soon here. That means that maybe some of the sellers are gonna take some profits at the end of the candle closure. There's a bit more volume coming in. That could be actually very favorable, sorry. Don't you think it's best to wait for lower time frame confirmations before entering at your point of interest ranges? Not always. No, not all the time. Thursday was a great example. Thursday was a beautiful example. The last stream last week, or the final stream last week. Yeah. Where's your TP? My TP will be higher, but right now that's not even my intention right now. To think about my TP. Okay. I'm more thinking about how can I manage the trade properly. Because it's all news driven right now. It's all about news right now. I don't see a reason to close it. My stop loss is there for a reason. But we need to make a move soon. We need to at least show us a little bit more momentum here. Oil is slowing down, which is good. Oil needs to slow down. Because you see how gold is slowing down if oil slows down. If oil slows down, gold will slow down. If oil drops a bit, pulls back, even if it just comes here. gold will most likely get there, right? So that's something that we have to be aware of. And it could definitely be that oil will pull back even a little bit right now after this major move, okay? And we're at the VWAP, so yeah. Also on a daily time frame, this is going to be really important. This thing on gold is going to be super key. Specifically this area right here. It totally depends where we will close tonight, in 8 hours from now. We can close above the 50s. Like I said before, that same freaking level, that 50 level. But then a daily closure, that would be really good for gold for tomorrow during Asia. But if you don't close above that, and we close below the 30s, okay, we close below the 30, so 4530 on a daily candle, that's not going to be good for gold tomorrow during Asia, in my opinion. We will open immediately in resistance. It's very important to know where gold will close here on the daily candle. So if you trade the Asian session, you really want to understand where gold closes. You really want to pay attention to gold because we have levels at the 30, the 50, and the 70. If you close below the 30, it's not a good sign for gold. It's not good for gold for tomorrow or for tonight if you're from the United States. Yeah, oils continue to go higher. That's not what we want to see. Right, oil needs to drop. Yeah, gold is doing its absolute best, okay? Its absolute best to hold here. It's trying. It's fighting. It really wants to. It really wants to. Up D says, believe me, Lorenzo, cut the high sells in gold, but I go for a 1-to-1. That is my strategy TP hit, but it moved 400 pips. Okay, so how many pips did you manage to get from that 1-to-1? How many pips was that? All right, come on, oil. Do your thing. You're a little bit of resistance right now. I can see it. I can see it. You're not looking weak. I'm not saying that you're weak. Okay? You're strong. But you're a little bit of resistance right now. What is your reasoning for gold going up? We had a lot of reasons beforehand. Okay. Before the news came out, number one. We were in an area where a lot of trapped sellers were located. Okay. We were undervalued against the dollar. The dollar was in that resistance at the time. We actually tapped into the point of control of the previous range. Okay. We had a lot of reasons for our entry at the time that were really good. And then we had some news coming out, some unfortunate news coming around Iran and the nuclear program, etc., causing oil to spike back up. And now I'm managing this trade pretty much. Now I'm in a management phase. Yeah. Straight number 3. Yeah. Anyway, still gonna be here for you guys regardless. Straight from the airport. As promised. I said it on Thursday. I'm gonna be flying in the weekend, but I'm gonna be here. The moment I'm back, and I'm back before the New York Stock Exchange open, I will be streaming the session. Funny enough, I'm actually extremely, how do I say that? Comfortable with you guys. I love this. This is my comfort zone now. Can you believe that? This is my comfort zone. This is where I feel in control, right? Sometimes my life is more hectic, but the moment I'm here, I feel in my comfort zone. Okay. So the goal is that oil stays below this level, and that that oil comes down at least to the 102. And that gold gives us the spike, and most importantly, that we don't do this. We actually flip here. We actually flip on the hourly candle. Yeah. What are these marks on your chart? If you trade futures, you have these execution marks. If you trade on TradingView, you have those execution marks. You can see where I bought and sold. So here I bought, here I sold, right? Here I bought, here I sold. And now here I bought, and now we're in drawdown, right? That's how it works. All right? Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Dr. Dollar. Hey, my brother, man. How are you doing, man? What's up, my bro? How are you? Good to see you, man. How's everything, brother? How's the fam? How's your family doing? Let me see what he's doing right now. What's Dr. Dollar doing right now? Is he live? Let me see what he's doing right now. What's Dr. Dollar doing right now? Is he live?
I'm live.
Nice.
Oh, fuck. Wait, I'm gonna send you some money, man.
Send me some money, please.
I'm live.
Send me some money.
My brother, how are you?
Nice.
How are you, man?
I'm doing good, my brother. I hope you're doing well, bro. Well, I'm gonna call you after. Yeah, man. Big shout out to Dr. Dollar. I know this guy from way back. Way back. Way back in the streaming game. One of the OGs, actually. One of the OGs. We can call him the OG right now. Yes? Nice. Shout out to Dr. Dollar. Anyways, guys, we're still holding the VWAP. Oil is still at resistance. I would say we could get back at least to our entry. And matter of fact, the dollar could face... oh, look at the dollar. That was a big push down again from the dollar, okay? So it's clearly... It's very obvious right now that it's not necessarily the dollar that is driving gold here, okay? It is definitely not the dollar. It is oil. it's definitely oil. Look at oil, okay? Oil is pushing gold down kind of aggressively. Oil needs to chill. If oil chills, then gold will have a good time. Then gold will have a party, okay? The dollar is already coming down. All right, so now oil needs to do that too. And it's happy days. It is happy days. Yeah. Should we re-enter? I would be a bit more cautious right now with re-entering because oil is very, very unpredictable right now. And it's also news related, okay? And we just got some, did we got some new news as well? No, we did not got any new news, but it's news related a little bit. It's very news driven. So be careful. Be careful right now, okay? I'm trying to manage my trade here in my best of my abilities right now. And keeping a very close eye on oil. Keeping a very close eye on this hourly candle. Keeping a very, very close eye right now on this 5-minute candle closure, which is actually not bad. What's happening with all these donations today, man? I feel like a Twitch streamer. Shout out to you, Alex. Feel like a Twitch streamer today. Okay. It's kind of ironic that you guys send me donations when I'm in drawdown. You know what I mean? You don't have to feel sorry for me, okay? Objectively, you don't have to feel sorry for me when I'm in drawdown. I love the support though. I really do. I really do appreciate it. I really do. How was Singapore? Busy. Beautiful city, man. Love it. You know why? Everything works there. In Singapore, everything works. Everything is clean. Everything is organized. They've done a good job, man. They have done an incredible job. Yeah. Shout out to the legend, Lee Kuan Yew, okay? The creator of modern Singapore. Rest in peace, my friend. Absolute legend of what you've been able to pull off in those 30 years in office. Incredible. Incredible. Turning Singapore from a fishing village into an empire, a financial empire. It's incredible. All right. Yeah, oil is pulling back. To be honest, guys, I need to pay really close attention now to this 5-minute candle. Because what I'm seeing right now, give me one moment. Okay, it's actually not that bad. We're still above this this zone. It's actually not that bad. It is not that bad. It's not perfect, but it's not that bad. But I don't like oil right now. Really, I'm not liking oil here. I am thinking about cutting this trade. and ending my day in green. And looking for a better entry if needed, because oil is unstoppable right now. Okay. I'm very happy with how gold is moving right now, how the dollar is slowing down a little bit. Okay. But oil is something that I don't really like right now at the moment. Okay. I don't really like how oil is moving. And we've managed to trade. We've survived some serious drawdown. So I'm thinking of cutting it. It's much smaller right now. Okay. Yeah, oil is not going to do it, guys. I'm going to cut this trade, guys, to be honest. I have to. I have to manage it. There's a big difference between losing $900 or losing $300 when you're up around $900 before. This allows my end to end in green. Can we still push back to that entry? There's still definitely a possibility. Don't get me wrong. But what I don't like is oil right now. I don't like these large tail wicks in oil, number one. What I also don't like is that the dollar right now is at support again. It's much weaker, but it's at support again. Can gold still push back to the entry? Yes. So if you're in the trade and you specifically want to close back at the entry, I think we still can get back to the entry, but it's just a maybe, you know, and I don't like that maybe feeling. I don't see any clear direction right now on gold because it's kind of news driven right now around Iran and stuff. Okay. So I think we gave it enough time to manage the trade here from the moment I got in here all the way till now, which is 1 hour and 15 minutes. And if we pull back to that area where I entered at 42.8, that's, I think, our average entry, right? No, sorry. 55.48. So 55 minus 48 is 7. Okay, it's somewhere in the middle right there around 51. Okay, that's the entry. 51, 52. Okay, it could still pull back to that level. Up to you decide what you want to do around there. Okay. Do you want to get out on break even? Do you want to hold on to the trade? It could still push up. It depends on how this already kind of flips bullish. So it's not necessarily bad. But it's kind of like a maybe. Okay. The confluences that I entered with are no longer as relevant right now as when I actually entered the trade. Okay. But then it always is for me not really a reason to hope. I don't like hoping, okay? I get into the trade with a reason, right? With all these confluences. I have my strategy. We have our gold hybrid system that we trade on stream. Profitable system. We enter that trading strategy. We have our confluences. If we are in a variable where a trade does not apply and we're in drawdown and the moment we're kind of around our entry, but all the initial rules of why we initially entered are no longer relevant because the confluences have, let's say, expired, then there's no reason for me to hold on to the trade. Okay? Yeah. So conclusion, entered there, exited around there, break even, and then close the trade in drawdown, not in a full stop, not even half stop. I would say 20% stop. Just to manage the trade and to end the day in green. Yeah. I'm still in the trade. What would you do right now if you would be still in the trade? I would probably close it at my entry. That's what I would do, I think. I think I will close it at my entry. Yeah, I think so. That's I think what I would do. And then maybe wait for a better opportunity later on. Okay? If you're really persistent and you want to hold on and you want to flip this hourly candle and it flips bullish, yeah, amazing. Okay? Amazing. But like, I think you could get into a better entry. You know what I mean? Let's say this rolls over right now, right? And it actually takes out the lows. Then I'm very, very happy that I closed the trade. I'll be very, very happy to close that trade here. Yeah. Lorenzo, is there a reason why you don't trade futures? We're trading futures right now. Okay. Yeah. Where would you re-enter the trade? To be honest, where would I re-enter the trade? I think that I would wait for... if I would re-enter the trade, let's say, right? I would wait for one more pullback, one more undervaluation, one more retracement after the hourly closure, setting in a new bottom wick, and then potentially looking for a new entry. That's something I would do. But the thing is, right now, I'm not sure if it's smart to do that with the news. Okay? Because of this news right now, oil has been coming up really aggressively. If oil makes a pullback, you know oil, right? At any given moment, oil could just pull back a little bit and just continue to go. It continues to go. So this is the thing around the news where I'm like, nah, it's better to just close my session in a win, in green, instead of trying to force another setup in this New York session, if that makes sense. At least for now. Yeah. How big is your Bali house? Did you buy it? Right now, I would say it's not too big. I mean, it's nice. It's clean. But I mean, you know, I don't need much. It's a nice place, though. Very nice. The top floor is also very nice. Yeah. What happened to your Telegram channel? Changed the name? Yeah, I left the channel a long time ago already. Yeah. I admire risk management. I appreciate this. Yeah, I think it was the right decision though, right? Because we're below the point of control here. I could wait to break even. But imagine this, right? So let's say we're like living in this spectrum right now, right? Imagine you are in my position, okay? Think about it from this perspective. You're in my position. Let's say I made around an X amount of money here, right? Let's say I made around $900 here, okay? Then, price came back down. I tried to enter, then I break even, okay? I'm looking for a better entry. That was a good decision too, management-wise, okay? Then I'm in a position. In this case, you are in a position, because you're in my position, where we enter along and price does something and news comes out very bad for gold and very good for oil, right? And we're in drawdown right there. And price comes down 150 pips and it's very close to our stop loss, okay? If my stop loss would be hit, I would break even for today, okay? I would break even for today. Net. So my whole session is pretty much a waste. Or, right, price pulls back and it allows me to close my trade in just a small loss. Okay? But let's say I didn't take that. So for example, let's say that price came back to my, did not came back to my entry, but I really want to close my trade at break even. I really want to do that. I really want to close my trade on break even because it looks better. It feels better. Okay? But imagine price doesn't get there and I go from almost being stopped out to being able to close my trade with a minor stop loss or a minor loss, okay? And going from that to then still being stopped out, for example, okay? What would you do in my situation? Let me know. Do you understand my thought process? And of course, we're looking at certain criteria here. Now, if it's coming back now, it's still great for all the people in the chat that are still in the trade, by the way. If you took the trade, you are going to be break even, at least. And you're going to be good for this session. Okay? But it has to do also with how we manage the whole session. It's just part of risk management, in my opinion. But what are you saying is only happens when the bank account is filled with big bucks? People with small money don't have that capital to consume a loss. I mean, if you are... Oh, you want my objective opinion to that? If you are trading on a small account, right? Let's say, and you can only take one trade, and that's it. I mean, I think you should not even be trading. That's my personal opinion. I don't think you should be trading. I think you should be learning how to trade. I think you should be trying to trade and get better. I think you should be able to practice. And I think you should maybe go for a prop firm challenge to, you know, see if you can get some payouts and work your way towards that. You know what I mean? I would do that. Okay? But if you rely on one big trade, on a small account, and that's it, is that really trading? Not really. That's not really trading. Okay? That's just putting all your hopes and dreams on that one trade. Every trade. Now, okay. Price is coming back, though, to the entry initially. Okay? So if you are still in the trade itself, I will be managing this trade. That's my personal suggestion to you. If you say I took the same trade, blah blah, I will be managing the trade because this is an opportunity where you'll be able to manage the trade for little to no loss, little to no risk. Okay, and it could have been much worse. All right, because this was a news reaction that came out here. Okay, it could have been much worse. This is why our stop loss was set below. And the reason why it was set below was because the hourly candle, okay? And a very important level, actually, the 30s, okay? There's a reason why I put our stop loss there. We had the VWAP as our protection. We also had that area of trapped sellers sitting there as well. And it's also a 4-hour zone as well, okay? So our stop loss had to be there for the right reasons. You can kind of get away right now at this moment. You are able to get out, okay, off the trade if you want to, risk-free, okay? I'm just saying. Right now. Exactly right now. Okay? Up to you to decide what you want to do if you took the trade. But I'm just saying from a management perspective, you avoid a loss right now. And you can start looking for new entries later on. Better entries later on, in my opinion. Okay? That's just my suggestion right now. All right. You guys survived. I'm happy. I waited for this. Okay, I waited to see if we would get back there. That means that some of you guys survived here. I'm not saying that everyone took my trades. But, you know, I'm here to support you too. And here to help you and instruct you. So, we survived. All right? We survived. Got out for a little profit for today. You guys survived. I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay, it could have been worse today with this news. All right. Okay. Anyways, I think that's it for today, guys. Right now, I think we're gonna come back tomorrow here. We survived the session. I think that's good. We survived it. I'm happy for that. Regardless, I came back from Singapore, straight from the airport, straight here to stream for you guys right now. So tomorrow I can chill. I come back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Not 9:30, New York Stock Exchange. 8 a.m. Okay, the New York Open. All right. But tomorrow will be an interesting day here. We have a little bit of an understanding of what gold is doing, but it's clearly very, very news driven still. Okay, so we need to pay attention to that and just adjust our risk to that. I mean, clearly, right? Because news can come out and it could change in a dime here. But you guys survived. Good. Okay. Let me know if you guys come tomorrow here. Looking forward to see that. If you like this channel, then smash up that like button. I highly appreciate that. Let this be the good start of the week here. Let it be a learning session today so we can get back on track tomorrow and repeat the process. And yeah, scalp our way through, I would say. Scalp our way through the session. Unless the momentum is very, very obvious and it's very clear. That's when we turn the scalps into more momentum-driven setups, the day trades, the longer holds, the bigger targets, etc., etc., etc. Okay. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate the support and yeah, much love, much love. Okay. Take care. And looking forward to seeing you tomorrow again. Let's see what the price action will bring tomorrow and if oil will keep going up today and tomorrow, according to this news. Let's see what happens. All right? Much love, guys. Peace out. This is what I mean why it's important to close the trade, by the way. Okay, so I really hope you did that. Right, exactly like we were talking about. I really hoped you actually did that, okay? Because it, yeah, you get the point why, okay? You can always look for better opportunities. You don't have to be emotionally attached to the trade. You can always look for better opportunities again. When you get the opportunity to get out of your trade, break even, risk-free, to get into a better opportunity later on. Peace, guys. See you tomorrow. Looking forward to some new price action.
It makes me say that